It's time to jump back into more Uncut XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Today's new soldier was provided by Jesse Date. Noah Daniels appears to have been blessed by the gods. Evidence of that divine blessing can be seen throughout events in his life. Born on a day that was wrongfully prophesied to be the end of the world, his parents named him after a religious figure that survived his own cataclysmic event. At age 5, Noah tripped over his shoelaces. When his parents stopped to help him, a military drone fell from the sky and crashed 20 feet ahead of them. If Noah hadn't stumbled, they would have all been killed. At age 13, after purchasing a cup of coffee, he bumped into a terrorist that was planning to blow up the coffee shop he just left. The coffee spilt on the young woman and shorted out the detonator for the bomb she was carrying. Not realizing she was dangerous, he insisted on helping the woman clean up. They became good friends and would eventually get married. Noah is now serving with what remains of the Israel Defense Force and is constantly experiencing strange slips and falls that drastically alter the fate of those around him. In fact, we contacted him through one of those strange events. He and his squad were pinned down while assisting a resistance group in Israel, and when calling for backup, he inadvertently used the same frequency that we use at Xcom. We arrived just in time to save Noah and their entire squad. After spending his entire life passively saving people through what can only be described as divine intervention, Noah decided to leave the IDF and join Xcom to actively hunt the aliens and return Earth to its rightful owners. We're hoping he stumbles on something that will help put an end to the Avatar project as quickly as possible. Okay people, we're getting a very special phone call today, and it is from the Council. We have Operation Hidden Sleep. And our objective for today is to extract a VIP from an Advent city. These missions are usually pretty difficult, but the rewards are always phenomenal. This time we're getting a scientist and some intel. That scientist is going to speed up the progress on our research, and the intel is going to help us expand our reach around the globe. And both of those things are very good. So let's get out there and rescue the VIP. Our squad composition today does not have a Reaper in it, so that means we're not going to have any crazy scouting capabilities, and we're not going to be able to detonate cars. So that's going to make things a little bit more challenging, but I have faith. We have a Templar, 2 Grenadiers, a Specialist, and a Ranger. Our Templar is using a standard loadout, the Shard Gauntlets auto pistol, but her utility item is a battle scanner, so that's going to give us battlefield awareness. Next up, our first Grenadier is Pillager. He is a Shredder, so he has the ability to remove target's armor and the suppression ability as well. For his utility items, he's got a frag grenade and a flashbang. Our second Grenadier is the Ripper. He has a frag grenade and a gas grenade, which can poison targets that get caught in the radius as long as they're organic. You cannot poison a robot because it's a robot. Next up, we have a Specialist Combat Hacker. He's using the Venom rounds. He's got Combat Protocol and Haywire Protocol. And finally, Author Boss is coming back in action. He has the Phantom ability, so he's going to be able to scout, just not as well as Dragonova because his detection radius is much larger than hers, and he's using the Talon rounds. We have a new piece of ammunition. This is giving him a bonus 20% critical hit chance and a +1 to his critical hit damage, so he's going to be a very devastating unit. He's going to help us eliminate high priority targets. Now, let's go rescue the VIP. Okay, as Central Officer Bradford has stated, we are not going in concealed for this mission. Extracting VIPs is kind of the most difficult mission type in XCOM 2, and it's for that very reason. Because you don't have concealment, you have to work a lot harder. You have to be a lot sneakier in order to get things done. I'm going to take a risk by sprinting on top of the roof. There could be enemies up there, or there could have been enemies up there, but luckily there are not, so we're not going to get revealed. But these missions are very difficult, and I'm sure they've been made so difficult because the rewards for them are absolutely phenomenal. A scientist is going to be invaluable for us. So we're going to keep the scientist on the roof, out of harm's way as much as possible. We're going to keep a couple of guys with boots on the ground, just get a nice spread of our squad so that we have all of our bases covered. We can get some flanking shots, a whole bunch of good stuff. I'm ready for this. My body is ready for this. But my mind, I don't know if my mind is totally in sync with my body right now, because I'm a little tiny bit tired because my caffeine rush is ending, and it is ending very quickly. In the previous episode, I mentioned that I drank a lot of coffee and I was a bit hyper. Well, that's all coming to a very, very harsh conclusion, and this sucks. That is quite possibly the worst thing about drinking an excessive amount of coffee, is the crash that comes afterwards. And it's not with every type of coffee. It's way worse with Starbucks, because Starbucks has a ridiculous amount of caffeine. We didn't get any enemies sighted with that battle scanner, so that's pretty unfortunate. We're just gonna pull up our Templar a few more tiles, and I do feel safe enough to move my Grenadiers to the ledge, and the rest of the squad, I'm just gonna put them on Overwatch from here, just in case the enemies keep patrolling in. Because although we can't get a true ambush, if enemies just happen to walk into our line of sight, then we'll get some Overwatches. So we'll get like a ghetto ambush, a fake ambush. But yeah, I'm coming down hard on the crash. So like, some of my neurons, they ain't firing correctly right now. So I am liable to make some very dumb decisions. Hopefully I don't. And so far, we're not seeing any enemies. I'm going to move Author Boss up just a little bit more. And I saw a silhouette of something, but I didn't catch it. So there are no doubt enemies within this little underpass area. And unfortunately, we need to cross this street in order to get to the evac zone. So we may actually need to come down off of the building. I think I'm going to get the reveal here. No, still nothing, but I can see the silhouette on screen, so I do know that there are enemies nearby. So we got to tread very carefully, but we have to continue treading. Because although we have 10 turns, and it seems like a lot, if we get caught in a firefight, those turns are just going to fade away very, very quickly. Oh no, I'm seeing a Muton, but I don't know exactly what they're doing. I could take a peek with Author Boss, but you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use him to peek. I'm just going to continue moving, because I know there are enemies down there, so I'm not going to run the risk of popping him out. Well, that's only... I don't have a lot of options here. I gotta be totally honest. I don't have a lot of options here. I'm trying to get as far as humanly possible without activating the pods, but I think really it's just gonna happen at this point. I don't think that there's much farther we can go without activation. So let's go up to the ledge. Jason the Ripper. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There wasn't anything else that we could have done. So we got two pods are going to activate. So 6 enemies we have to deal with. The priest getting on his knee, going Tim Tebow status, praying up to Jesus, kissing one up to God to make sure that his squad is safe. And we got the real damage coming in with the Muton, the Advent Mech, and the Purifier. So that is pretty terrifying. The Muton, though, is pretty far away, so he might end up going for things like suppression, which is significantly less dangerous than him like running up and slashing somebody in the face. The Muton's melee attacks are pretty asinine. So now we've got to think about our options here. We've got a lot of soldiers that we can manipulate. Unfortunately, I can't see the mech with Rob Cool Blue to get an aid protocol, so we got a lot of stuff to think about here. All right, I think the best start for us is going for a Shredder. So we're going to try and eliminate this mech because it has the ability to flank everybody right now, and that is absolutely not what we want, but we have a 100% chance to hit. Oh no, Jason Hammond doesn't have Shredder. It's Pillager. So we're going to advance Pillager so that he has line of sight on the mech, and then we're going to shred some of his armor. All right, and then that is actually going to give us a buttload of options on how we want to deal with him. So boom, 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 cannon fire, go. 4 damage, 1 armor shred. That is a pretty awesome roll. Unfortunately, he's right in range for a very sweet combat protocol. But instead of doing that, I think I'm just going to go for a shot. I've got a 55% chance to crit because of the weapon crit, the Talon rounds, and something else is boosting it up. Shadow Strike, that's right. So we're just going to take this shot, and if it crits, this guy's going to say night-night. Night-night? What the hell? What am I talking about right now? All right, well, we got an 8 damage critical hit, and that is very powerful. So that has eliminated the threat of the mech. So now Jason Hammett, he can freely use his gas grenade, and I'm going to send it down. Unfortunately, not in range for the mutant. So you know what? I'm just going to use a frag on the trooper. And maybe that... No, that's not really going to do anything. The mutant... He could... Alright, here's what has me completely paralyzed and afraid to act. Mutons have very powerful grenades, and I have 2 soldiers that are within grenade radius right now. But there's a very logical part of my brain that is telling me that there is no flipping way that the Muton could get a grenade from down there up to my soldiers, so I don't want to change positions. But at the same time, there's another part of my brain saying that this is frickin' Xcom, and it is very likely that that Muton is on the alien football team, and he's gonna chuck a grenade halfway across the map and kill 2 of my soldiers with it. So I'm very, very worried right now. But you know what? I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move away. I'm gonna move down, and yeah, I'm gonna move down just to get out of the way of that grenade, because I know the grenade is gonna come. I feel it in my bones that some shenanigans are gonna happen, and I have to do my best to prevent them. And the final thing that I'm gonna do is actually nothing. You know what? Yeah, nothing. There's not really anything my Templar can do that will be valuable, so I'll put him on Overwatch. If the Stun Lancer comes up, then maybe it'll get tagged, but otherwise there's not much we can do. So let's see. The Muton gonna advance a bit and go on Overwatch. So my fears were maybe a little bit irrational. The enemies are pretty far away at the moment, so there's not much that they can do. Holy Warrior is coming out on, I believe the Muton was targeted, so that is gonna give it increased aim and some other stats probably. It also gives him a pretty beefy shield. So the Muton is ridiculously dangerous. A crit through half cover on Robert Wallace. This man is always getting bruised up on missions, and I don't have a med kit either, so that's making things even worse. And now he's dead. I really hate this game sometimes. I really do. On the bright side, if there is a bright side to this, the Holy Warrior ability, it is a blessing and a curse, if you will. It gives the Muton a lot of bonus attributes, but if we kill the Advent Priest, then that will also kill the Muton. So if we can get the kill, that'll be fantastic. If we can't, then we're gonna be screwed. And the fact that we lost Robert Wallace is absolutely punishing right now. That is gonna severely cripple our ability to actually deal with the Advent Priest. Now I'm hoping that this move is not going to trigger the Overwatch. It shouldn't. I'm still very just by the way, I feel terrible. Just understand that, but I'm fighting through it. The gas grenade is enough to hit both of them, but the damage, because they're on the outer radius, is going to be pretty low. But is better than nothing. Damn. Yeah, 2 damage plus poison, not nearly enough. That is reducing their accuracy pretty heavily, but that's not within really kill range yet. How can we do this? Because I really need to kill that Muton, that priest. All right, I'm gonna try and get lucky here. I'm gonna move up author boss. There's no way I can get a flank on the priest. But from here, at the very least, I do have the high ground bonus. I'm closing the gap a little bit. So that should bring up my chance to hit a little tiny bit. Ugh. That high cover bonus is absolutely ridiculous. So here we go. We're taking the shot. It worked. Oh, thank the heavens. The Mouton has been eliminated. A little piece of collateral damage there. We got to get some revenge. That Advent Trooper needs to go, and we are going to make sure that it happens. Oh, man, I'm so freaking upset right now. I'm so salty. You can't truly comprehend the level of salt that I'm feeling right now from that shot. That was just not how I wanted this to go. Ah, but that's XCOM, right? That's freaking XCOM. Damn it! And to finish it off, I'm pretty sure stun lancers have grenades, right? Do they? I actually don't see one on his belt loop. If I find out he has a grenade, I'm gonna uninstall this fucking game. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even gonna risk it. I don't care. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, the Purifier changing positions. He doesn't really know what to do with himself. He's probably a little bit stressed out. Can't really get in range for his flamethrower. Again, we're seeing some ridiculous shots coming out from these guys. This has me so tempted to install. There's a mod that gives you a defense bonus when you have high cover, and it sounds very tempting right about now when my soldiers are getting just straight up violated by enemies on some shenanigans. So here we go. Author Boss is gonna come down, stick the gun inside the mouth of the Advent Stun Lancer, and blow him the frick away. Ugh. And you know what's making this even worse is the fact that I am crashing from my coffee. That's making me feel a bajillion times worse than I would otherwise. Like the level of just energy decrease from... Oh no, what have I done? How much you want to bet this is going to be the one time the Advent Purifier explodes? I'm going to take the shot just because I feel like he's going to explode. He's not even going to die. Look at this. I don't even know how much damage that explosion does, but you want to know something? I want to find out. I really do want to find out. Watch him blow up. Let's watch. I kind of shouldn't have done that, and I fully acknowledge that, but our soldier's not dead. They're just bleeding out. So, could have been worse. Now let's go pick up the dead body. Let's bring the VIP out and get to the extraction point. I'm not gonna say something. I did myself. I don't, but I do. Oh, wait. Alright. So, this mission was somehow not a catastrophic failure. We did lose the Pillager, and I'm very sad about that. But we're gonna get most of our soldiers out, and we're gonna get the VIP, so that's a good sign. I kind of lost it a little bit there, not gonna lie. I got a little bit out of control. But, you know, I think it was kind of funny, right? iBluairJgR gaming for comedy, you know, huh? Giving you guys some good laughs out of that one, right? Trying to justify the fact that I'm playing like an asshole. Is it working? I mean, what the hell? Alright, Author Boss is the only one not on the evac zone. I'm going to end the turn. Next turn, he's going to get to the evac. And this is one of those moments where I'm super glad that I'm not playing with the all pods active mod anymore, because if I was, I would have been lost. Because, the other pod would have been here a lot sooner. But they're too little too late, Mouton. You're too slow, you're too fat, you're too green. Don't nobody got time for your bullshit. Alright? Get out of here. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see it. Go away. Don't come up here. Don't come up in my evac zone. Get out of here. Go on with that. Don't nobody want to see your ugly ass. Go on. Okay. Alright, so this was clearly the dumbest mission that has ever taken place. Let's just... I'm going to deflect a little bit of the blame off myself and say that my soldiers got really upset at the fact that Robert Wallace got killed. So they started making some poor tactical decision, and Central Officer Bradford was on the mic talking about, guys, wait, he's wearing a fucking fuel tank on his back. Please don't go slash him while you're standing right next to him. And they were like, we must avenge Robert the Pillager Wallace. And Central was like, wait, just think about what you're doing. And they didn't think about it, and they just blew up the backpack, and that was it. That sounds pretty good, right? It wasn't just me being a dickhead. No, obviously not. Okay, so that was an absolute tragedy. But we got the scientists, we got the intel, and we got some items out of it as well. So we may have taken a lot of damage in the battle, but this is going to go a long way towards us winning the war. So thumbs up? I'm going to say it was a thumbs up. With all of that said, the name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching. I think I'm finally making XCOM funny. I'll see you next time.